What's up guys, it's N4RRATE, and I'm gonna teach you guys how to get better at Valorant, aka hit rank 1. I started playing Valorant in April of 2022. I just played the game all day, 24/7 for some reason, like a freak, and I got rank 1 in 2 months. The number one thing to really getting good at the game is obviously playing the game a lot. That's number one tip, is you have to play the game. You can't get better at the game if you don't play it a lot. Obviously, I had prior experience playing Counter-Strike and a lot of FPS games, Minecraft even, all those games kind of teach you things. It's just a lot of gaming experience, I guess. And I think for somebody who just starting Valorant as first FPS, is definitely gonna be really difficult for you to get better fast. Obviously, it just depends on how well you think and how well you adapt to certain situations. I would say the first thing that you would need to focus on is the mechanics. The mechanics are one of the biggest things in the game. I don't necessarily mean just aim. Aim is not, I would say, even 40% of mechanics. Obviously the movement, crosshair placement, just basic stuff where you can easily just win gunfights and win rounds purely based off your movement, aim, and no matter what character you're even playing, because honestly characters don't matter as much. Obviously it's ideal if you play an aggressive character, something where you can die and it doesn't necessarily matter. So Jett, Reyna, Chamber, any character where you can, or even Killjoy, where you can just put your utility down and not really care about it, and you can just focus on playing on your mechanics, because that'll be the number one thing for you to rank up. I'll say the second most important thing is to learn all the agents' abilities and the maps. Just learn the game, understand what each character can do in certain situations. Obviously that comes, in my opinion, from playing the game a lot. That's definitely super important in the game. Obviously it's kind of a beginner tip. If you've been playing the game a while, you pretty much know what each character does, but it's more important to know what they can do in certain situations. The most important times to know is mid-round, when there's not a lot of utility, there's certain map controls been taken. Obviously you just want to know what the other team can do and can't do. It's definitely one of the most important things. The third most important thing is mental. For playing ranked a lot, honestly, having a good mental when you're playing ranked is definitely really important. If you're just losing matches and you just give up and you don't want to play anymore, then you shouldn't play. Because when you have a good mental and you're always trying to win, you'll always play better than when you're tilted or frustrated. There are hundreds of times where I've just lost 10 games in a row in ranked, and I'm just over it. I don't even want to play the game anymore. But it happens, and you have to keep playing. If you want to rank up and get rank 1 like I wanted to, you have to keep playing. You can't just give up after 10 losses, 15 losses, 20 losses. No. You can't give up. If you're a really good player and you want to go pro and stuff, it's definitely one of the most important things, because there will always be things that frustrate you, and you have to be able to keep control of knowing what you need to do to win. If you're tilted and playing ranked and you're not doing what you're in and you're blaming your teammates, obviously teammates can be really bad, but you can always be better, especially if you're a lower ranked player. If you're not rank 1, you shouldn't complain about your teammates and then say they're the reason why you lose games and why you're not ranking up. Valorant is a 50-50 game, and you can always be that 5%, that 10% extra that makes you win more games than you lose. So definitely having a good mental and realizing that you are the reason that you're gonna rank up, it's not your teammates, it's definitely a big thing. But also, even if you have a good mental and you wanna win, if you care too much about ranked, you're cooked. It's a video game. Winning or losing literally doesn't matter. So if you wanna enjoy the game, you wanna play it well. So that's what you should focus on, is literally enjoying the game. And that revolves around you just doing what you want to do. It's not dependent on whether or not you win or lose. That's not the reason why you're playing the game in the first place. You're playing it because it's fun. So I would also recommend not trying way too hard to win and being frustrated that you lose. The fourth thing that I think is important is to not play statically, in the sense that don't play the same way every single time. Playing certain agents, really, if you want to be good at the game, it shouldn't bother you if you have to play Skye or Omen or some other character that you're not used to playing, because if you're playing the game, you should automatically understand what your team is doing around you, and you should learn from that. You shouldn't play the game and say you're playing Jett only and your Omen is doing certain things and you don't know what your Omen is doing in the game, then you're lost, right? So you definitely want to understand why you win rounds and what helps you as a player win rounds. So you're playing Jett and you when your Omen smokes like this, then maybe the next game, then you put the same smoke and you don't think about it. It shouldn't be oh, I'm playing a new agent, I don't know what to do. You're always playing with 4 other agents on your team at the same time. So I definitely think it's important to learn from your teammates and like learn from the enemy, like what they're doing and what's working against you and what's working for your teammates. Valorant is just a game about who knows more, like who can learn more, who can figure out like answers faster. I think at lower ranks, it literally doesn't matter what character you play. It's just how you play. You don't need to play textbook perfect Radiant level Valorant to win a game in fucking Gold 3, right? You need to just play better than the other Gold players. It's all like subjective depending on what rank you are. What will work in Gold won't work in Radiant. But what sometimes will work in Radiant literally just won't work in Gold. So you just have to play different depending on like who you're playing against. So you don't want to think about like, I'm gonna play the same way every single time and that will help me rank up, which is just completely not true. You have to be very adaptive, you have to learn new things, you have to always get better, always find openings in like what your enemies are doing. So you shouldn't focus too much on like, is the reason we lost is my killjoy setup or did I just misplay in the round? Or could I have done more? And the fifth thing is to watch other players who are better than you play the game. So I think that when you watch other players play the game, and I wouldn't say professional play, I would say more streamers and stuff, because that's like more the environment that you're trying to rank up in, is like the ranked environment, rather than like professional play, because those two are completely different. You really have to like dissociate those two. I think watching people like Tarek and like other like really good streamers who are really enjoyable to watch, but also they can teach you a lot about the game just by watching them how they play. Obviously you want to watch them and be like, oh, you see them get a 4K and you're like, oh my God, he's insane. Go past that level where you're like just watching for enjoyment and watch for like learning, and watch how people are moving in certain scenarios, how they're aiming, where they're like, why they understand to push a certain area of the map, why they retreat, why they will do a certain moment. And maybe you don't understand it at first, but if you experience a lot of these different moments, you'll eventually find like good conclusions and good answers. And I think like for me personally, I think that was like the biggest thing why I was like so good at the game immediately, is because before I started playing, I was watching the game. Like I was just like, oh, this game is interesting. And I was watching what this guy was doing. So I was like learning the game, learning what other people can do, especially immediately at a high level. I think it's definitely like one of the most important things to understanding how to play the game. You can't always just be in your own like bubble. Just trying to like expand your mind on what like can happen in the game and why certain people will do certain actions. And that doesn't necessarily mean just do what they're doing. It means like, why they're doing this because of this. So then it puts you in a good thinking process. So when something happens in your game, you make your own decision that's good for you or good for somebody else, or yeah, that's better than just like autopiloting and not thinking and just automatically doing what somebody does. It helps you think about the game a little bit more, I think. When I played and got rank 1, I literally only solo queued. It's probably not like the best. I think it's probably more fun to play duo queue, to play with a friend or something who is also good at the game. To me, I think that it's obviously more enjoyable to play with somebody else that you can talk to and have fun with. And also, it could help you work on your communication if you play on duo, where if you talk to your teammate and what to do. 5-stack, I wouldn't recommend, because I think it's 5-stacking. Like, you don't gain as much elo. Like, who are you 5-stacking with, bro? Are you 5-stacking with Radiant Smurf? Like, come on. Let's be real though. Just play with your own rank and like actually get better at the game. All right, guys, that's it for my rank 1 Radiant tips. Thank you guys for watching. Buy the KC bundle, and yeah, goodbye.